Hi, my name is Amy Nicholas, and I am here today to talk to you about Children's Medical Mission West. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you about how I learned about this amazing organization. In 2016, Mrs. Brannon came to me asking, as the physical therapist for our school district, if I knew where her family could get a wheelchair because her parents were hosting a little girl from Haiti who was about to have surgery on her legs who was going to need a wheelchair. And as the physical therapist for our district, she thought I would know that. After talking to her, I inquired about how you host kids from Haiti who need to have surgery on their legs, and she told me about Children's Medical Mission West. So there are many children across the world who have disabilities, and we in the United States are very, very fortunate in our ability to care for these children and to include them across the board in school, in our communities. Unfortunately, that is not the case around the world. In many third world countries, children with disabilities are shunned by their community. They are sometimes seen as cursed. Life is very, very difficult for them and their parents. And because they lack health care or access to health care or the money to pay for health care in their country, these children are often left to just deal with the disability they have. They're not included in school. Many parents end up actually having to put their children in orphanages just because they simply cannot care for them and because life is too difficult. Roads are not accessible. They don't have access to wheelchairs, things like that. So Children's Medical Mission West is an organization based out of Ohio that is a nonprofit organization that locates children in third world countries who have a disability, finds a hospital and a doctor in the United States willing to care for that child for free, and then finds a host family in that area to have the child come and live with them while they are here in the United States receiving medical care. And then the children eventually return home to their families, hopefully with whatever disability or impairment that they had fixed, or much better, much easier to live with in their country. We were very fortunate that the child that Mrs. Brannon introduced to us ended up coming to live with us. Her name was Laurencia, and she was from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. She came with a disability called arthrogryposis, which meant that her feet, her ankles, her knees, and her hips were all stuck in the position that she was born in. It's just a genetic condition that she was unfortunate enough to be born with. Made life for her very, very difficult at home. She couldn't walk. She had to walk on her hands, sometimes just popping up into a handstand and sometimes just dragging her little crooked legs behind her. Her parents took as good of care as her as they could, and when she was about 5 years old, she was placed in an orphanage. Luckily, the woman who ran that orphanage in Haiti knew of Children's Medical Mission West, and the woman who runs the mission here in the United States found doctors in St. Louis at our Shriners Hospital who were willing to take on her case and provide her care. And so Laurencia came to live with us, and she was here for 18 months away from her family in a country where she didn't understand the language that was being spoken to them. But here she was able to go to school and get an education. She had multiple surgeries. She learned English, and she went home 18 months later walking on her feet. She does wear braces and uses some canes to walk with, but she was able to walk, and she was well enough that her family was able to have her move back into their home with them. She now goes to school in Haiti where she speaks fluent Haitian Creole and English, and she's learning French. And so what we feel like this mission is doing is rewriting the story. It is rewriting the story of these children who should have had very little to no opportunity because of the culture of their country. But because they have come here and they have been able to receive the care here, they get to go home and start fresh. They get to have a whole new life that they wouldn't have had otherwise if it weren't for Children's Medical Mission West. Children's Medical Mission West is a nonprofit organization. That means that no one gets paid. They have no paid employees. It is people who do this out of the kindness of their heart, and they provide all the documentation and airfare to get these children to the United States. Since Laurencia, we have hosted 2 more children. We have had Jaylee Latu, who came from Burkina Faso, Africa, and she had club feet and came here as a 5-month-old baby. They come without their parents, and so her poor mom and dad had to just put her on an airplane and send her with an escort to the United States, where she came and lived with us and received her care again at St. Louis Shriners, and was able to go home 6 months later with perfectly normal feet, and is now hopefully starting to walk and going to live a perfectly normal life at home with her family in Africa. Currently, we have the most amazing personality little girl, Grace, who is living with us, and she is from Côte d'Ivoire, Africa, which is the Ivory Coast. And she also came with club feet. She came November 1st, and she is going home in just 2 weeks on March 6th, and she is walking. Her feet are perfectly normal, and she is walking and practically running, and she will return home to her mom. And just about a week after that, we'll be getting our 4th host child, who is a little boy who also has a leg deformity and will hopefully be getting fixed from St. Louis Shriners while he is here. Hopefully you can tell that Children's Medical Mission West is truly rewriting the story of so many children. Hundreds of children have come to the United States through this organization and stayed all over the United States to receive their care free of charge. And what a gift this is for these families who are just struggling every day with the fact that they had a child who was born with a disability, and it's just so difficult to care for them. And so we are hoping that you guys can come together as a community to help this organization so that we can continue to bring as many children to the United States, to be able to change their story, to rewrite their story, and give them a chance at a whole new life.